Well, welcome to the Tough Crowd program. A lot of things going on. The Episcopalians appointed the first gay bishop, and half the congregation wants to leave. Isn't it amazing that people can be hypocrites? If it wasn't for gay men, there wouldn't be a church. Be honest. Do you know a lot of... Come on. I'm talking about all the Christianity. Do you know a lot of straight guys that can wake up at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning and put on colorful robes, make sure the altar's right, the chalices are shined, the vestments, and the stained glass? Enough already. No gays, no church. We all know that. And, no, that's the truth. Now the old Leno-Letterman feud is back in the news. Leno and Letterman. NBC President Jeff Zucker says that Leno has won the late-night wars over Letterman. But the interesting part of the article, which most people did not pick up, but I picked up, is where it says right here, well, it's in here, believe me, they have both been affected by the mysterious disappearance of young male viewers. Who else starts at 11:30? Yeah, I'll tell you who. Also, I'm gonna be rich! I'm gonna be rich! Rich. Finally. It's ridiculous. It's rude that I'm not a multimillionaire. Rude. After Sunday's attack against U.S. forces, Bush declared yesterday America will never run from the challenges in Iraq. Should the U.S. get out of Iraq now or step it up, Norton?
You can't get out now. You absolutely can't. I mean, you know, it's like Kobe says, no matter how much resistance you meet, you can't pull out.
Good point.
They can't pull out now with Sweep coming. Wait till after Sweep.
I just became anti-war as a result of seeing a play by Tim Robbins, because that's where I get all my news is from live theater.
And what do you think?
Well, I think that we should. I think we should try some of the comedic premises that have been proffered by different road comics that I've heard.
Okay.
Well, perhaps we send in their girlfriend suffering from PMS, or drop porn, or porn. Actually,
okay, not corn.
Porn.
I think we should send in the Bush twins.
Yes.
Yeah, because one of them drives like a suicide bomber anyway.
Yeah.
There's no way to pull out now. Everybody knows that. Because now if we pulled out, it would be like 1991 times 100. They would just decimate all the people that did support us. So for better or for worse, we're in there.
I think it was planned this way. I think it was part of an evil plan to,
you know.
Do? Yeah, because it's like, first of all, you get us into something that we can't get out of, so we have to re-elect Bush. Then we can't get out of it in 4 years from now, so we have to put in Jeb Bush. Then there's going to be George Bush. And then there's going to be like this sea of Bush. You know,
that's what Tim Robbins said.
That's what you think, huh? They're right. It really was a plan. You know, Tim Robbins, all these guys are right. It really was a plan to bomb the World Trade Center. I guess Bush was behind that somehow, and to really just destroy the thing, and then that would make his popularity. I don't know. They'll have to explain it to me better.
Well,
I'm sick of conspiracy.
It's the whole thing about...
It's nonsense.
But there's no connection between the World Trade Center and the war in Iraq.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Well, who do you think's over there? Who do you think's fighting right now? Al-Qaeda. Who do you think's in Iraq right now?
The situation in Iraq is creating exactly what they said they were going in there.
As opposed to the loving, nice Woodstock they had before we got there, they were destroying and torturing people.
I didn't say they had a Woodstock there, but...
It's a nightmare there. It's a nightmare.
It was a nightmare there, but it was not a nightmare it was not an Al-Qaeda nightmare. Al-Qaeda and Saddam Hussein are totally opposed to each other. They were ideological enemies.
They're ideological enemies, but they have one ideology they both agree with. Kill us. Now listen.
They agree with that now.
They agree with that.
The war is pushing them together.
Well, the war does push people together, and that's one of the positive things about it.
And it pushes people apart.
And why do they want to kill us? I mean, that's the reason. Like, why do they want to kill us?
You're right. It's the root cause. Is that it?
How about it is.
Oh, really? So you think so?
Yeah, I do. I think that there is a root cause.
You know what? There's probably root cause to the fact that they kill gay people over in the Middle East, too.
You always don't pull the gay card.
Why not? No, there's a root cause. I'm sure that we should, instead of saying condemn them for killing gays, and for...
they went to war in Iraq to stop them from killing gays.
And for clitorectomies on women.
Yeah.
We should get to the root cause. I'm sure they hit the clitorectomy on women because they're insecure about women. And the gay people, I'm sure it's a big insecure thing.
Should Germany invade America because boys are circumcised here at birth?
Well, that's a good idea.
I mean, because that's ridiculous.
That has nothing to do with what I said. You guys want to get to the root causes.
Male circumcision, female circumcision.
I'm saying there's no root cause. Once the World Trade Center went down, I don't want to hear about the root cause. Is what I'm saying, because you can say Hitler had root causes too.
Well, but what about-
Germany was very poor in 1920s.
Saddam Hussein did not have anything to do with the World
Germany
Trade
was very
Center.
poor in the 1920s. They were abused and humiliated.
You're
Their root
ignoring,
cause.
but see, you're ignoring the. It's
am I
all
ignoring?
about WMDs. That's the reason that we supposedly
No,
went, and
that's
we
the
haven't.
reason that Bush may have said. But
Yeah,
I'm talking
well,
about beyond that.
well, but of
you
course,
want to
but
keep it
that's-
to one
but that's
specific
the-
thing. Okay, Bush lied about the weapons of mass destruction.
Well, we haven't
Is that
found
okay?
them, but don't worry, we'll
He's a
put them
liar.
there.
You can't.
We won't put them there, and even if we did, you're ignoring what I'm saying, which is root cause my ass. Germany had root cause in the 20s. They were starving to death in the streets, humiliated. So, I mean, where does root cause end?
Germany invaded other countries. They tried
No,
to go
in the
to Europe.
1920s,
So
they
did
were
Iraq.
poverty-stricken.
So did
10
Iraq.
years ago, and they had the war, and man, you didn't finish it, and they should
But
have
didn't
gone
we
back
support
10 years
Iraq
later.
when
We
they
should
invaded
have
other
finished
countries?
that.
We
As a
didn't.
woman,
supported
I
him when
can
he fought
always
Iran.
relate with the fact that we were asking for it. I mean, have you seen how we've been acting? It's just
Let's say that's something we all
no.
agree on. Reverend Robinson was confirmed as the first openly gay bishop in the Episcopal Church, threatening a split in the church. Does the church... Does the church need to be more open-minded to stay relevant, Scott?
Well, the first thing they need to do is they need to get with the times, and they need to raise the hemlines. Because floor-length frocks are so 89. I mean 1889.
But is anybody against the church having gays in it?
Well, anybody who believes in Leviticus is. But Leviticus was bipolar and he was a prick. So who cares? But see, what they do is that's all what they always bring up. They bring up Leviticus because they say it was an abomination. But in Leviticus also it was an abomination to eat shellfish, and it's an abomination to have two different types of thread, and to have sex with a woman, 7 days after her period. So there goes your weekend.
I don't even know who Leviticus is.
He was a singer. He was popular. Yeah.
My parents are actually Episcopalian, and they are extremely gay. They went on a bus tour of Norway in matching windbreakers.
Is your family very religious?
That's gay.
That's gay.
Yeah.
I think the church should become less relevant. So because I'm afraid that if they become more relevant, they'll be able to hang on, and I want to see them collapse.
You do.
So I hope that the church hangs on to their fusty
But
old
don't you
traditions,
think-
like these old
I know,
wicked
they're
queens,
making
until they
themselves-
collapse, and we can all
But
be
wait a
free.
minute. Let's say one thing about the church.
The Bible is so catty.
But
I hate the cover.
Yeah.
They should have a Stephen King cover on
listen,
it. I like it.
Well, but they have
all
to
the
lighten up.
criticisms of the church, let's be honest. If you look at any organization in the history of mankind that's done more for poor people, I'm not saying they haven't done a lot of damage, but as far as done good for poor people, the church, especially
the church is they're great. I think the
they're
church.
doing amazing.
I think they're
You
very.
can't deny that.
They're very important. I'm not denying that. They're very
deny that.
important.
All
They're very, very
By
important.
taking from
However, they need to get with the program. First of all, I think it's the church's fault that there was all the molesting, because they don't ever talk about sex. Then they are not allowed to deal with that. Secondly, priests should be able to get married. If you counsel people, if I had to counsel people on marriage and I couldn't get married, I'd be one bitter son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, bless me, Father, my wife doesn't understand me. So at least you have a wife. I have this poor excuse for a buddy booth.
Well,
Priests
actually, that's not even true.
They need glory holes, is what you're saying, right? There is a glory hole in the confession booth.
No, you can't go there.
I'm confessing every day.
You must not go there.
Recent scientific evidence confirms. Don't leave me alone with these people. How dare you? Okay. Now, the FCC ruled that Bono saying the F word on the Golden Globes was not an obscenity because he used it as an adjective, which is what Irish people do, They always use it as an adjective. In fact, I might even use it as an adjective right now. We heard there's girls from Ireland, right? And what's your name?
Patricia.
Patricia. Well, that's not a bad Irish name, but you have to have Patricia Mary, Patricia Ann.
Patricia Danielle.
Okay, that's a little more like it. Patricia Danielle. So there's a little French influence, kind of a Beckett, Yates, Joyce moves to Paris.
We spell it the American way.
I don't know. I'm just rambling. Now listen, miss. I don't want no trouble out of you. Well, let's have a nice Irish conversation with the only adjectives for the F word, okay? It's a beautiful day.
Aye, it is. It's the
Hey, right, birds, flowers, sun, right here.
green.
Now, let me ask you something. When you think of Irish, you think Colin Farrell. And then you think of the real Colin Quinn. And
Aye.
Liam Neeson, have you heard he's got a huge hog?
And then you got to think of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, that bastard, right? Hey, good crap. All right, look, folks. Language and nudity regulations continue to loosen on network TV. Have they gone too far? Maria, please start, and I'll be right over.
My problem with is not the language, is that they're the Irish on television. I
agree.
You know, I love you, Colin. But I mean, a lot of my best friends are Irish, but you know, it's just they're so drunk all the time. You know, it's uncomfortable.
You know what's irritating about this whole thing? It's like, I don't even like you two, but Bono has like a real history of doing charity work and of donating money. I mean, he's like a good guy.
Right.
And he slips once, and yet everyone knows it was a slip, and over 200 people call in. It's like we are turning into a nation of just kvetching little washwomen who love nothing more. It's sickening that all these people called in, you know, because they knew he slipped, and it's like, you know, it's just sickening the way people overreact.
I can't believe they actually took the time to call in. It's like, get a life. You know, who cares?
Write a letter to Us Magazine. About how you love the picture of Justin Timberlake on the cover. It's the same people.
If you care, if you care about any of that, you have to put a bullet through your brain, I think.
I don't understand why you can't say when it does refer to
What's that?
I don't understand why it's obscene to to use the F word when it actually refers to what it's for. Why is that obscene?
Because it's an adjective. I don't know.
That's bizarre.
But let me ask you this. Now,
What if
this
it's
is
an adverb, like
Oh.
you know, when you're
now you guys see why it's banned. There's been sitting here all day. Now there's been a couple of school suspensions because of kids. You know, one kid like wrote something like one girl wrote a note, a journal about killing a teacher. The other kid, this kid has a picture drawn by a 14-year-old boy. It's a U.S. Marine killing the Taliban guy, and then he had the name of some other kid, Thomas Brooks, was here. Like that's supposed to be Thomas
That
Brooks.
kid's a real art prodigy.
Yeah, yes.
Exactly.
But his father and his stepfather are both in the Marine ones in Iraq. So I'm saying the zero tolerance policy, they suspended both of these kids. Is it overreacting or what, Jim David?
Well, you know, I mean, it's criminalizing thought, and you can't do that. I mean, if I was in trouble every time, yeah, why, thank you so much. You know, I mean, I'm getting a lot of, they must agree with me today. I don't know what's going on. But, I mean, if I was criminalized every time if I got in trouble every time I wanted to kill somebody, I'd never be able to be on this show.
Right. None of us would.
None of us would. You know, and it's just like, so, you can't criminalize the thought because.
But it's not a thought, it's on paper. So if somebody in school.
If
somebody in school writes, I hate I hope they die. You don't think they should be suspended because that's criminalizing thought.
Are you looking at my journal again?
I was looking at Cardinal O'Connor's.
I think that the kid that did that probably and the girl that wrote the story are kids that are less likely to act out because they have a creative outlet, and the kids that do it are the ones that don't have the outlet.
No, he's going to tell us. Go ahead.
My concern is that we the state of our arts programming in this nation, that sort of two-dimensional, I mean, it's just really poorly
I thought it was
rendered.
kind of good.
Are we getting any life drawing classes in with our kids?
Excuse me. Have you looked at Mr. Jim Norton? That doesn't look like him to you?
Oh, wait.
No.
Yeah, a little bit. I'll tell you something else. I think it's stupid anyway. If you're worried about these kids, that's the thing to do. Suspend them so they sit home and stew about the
Put
school.
them on Ritalin and
Put them on
squash
Ritalin.
them down.
I say either shoot them where they sit or don't bring it up at all.
I want to make.
Sorry. Everything I need to know I learned watching commercials. So go get your education. We'll be right back. You know, a few weeks ago, we did a terrible thing to some of the regular comics on our show. Tonight, we present the first installment of our Tough Crowd hidden camera photo shoot. Our five comics thought it was a publicity shoot for Comedy Central, run by our beautiful photographer, Ellen. What they didn't know was that there were a few other cameras in the room, behind mirrors and in the ceiling. Sorry, boys. Tonight, we take a look at Jim Norton. So, Jim, first you tried to impress our photographer with your new health kick. Look.
You guys don't have any hot water, do you?
It's cold water.
water in the fridge and so.
I'm drinking a lot of green tea. Yeah, it's supposed to be very healthy for you, right?
Yeah. Do you exercise or anything too?
Yeah, I just started again. Out of shape, nothing again. Just started doing treadmill and stuff.
Green tea, it's supposed to be good for you. Was that
I'm trying to
15 or 20-year-old information you were trying to give her, you square? Shut your mouth and let me finish.
No, you're wrong. I'm trying to make up for all my years of condom use, and I think green tea is I meant to say lack of condom use. Maybe if I had some improv skills, this would be going well.
Now, Jim, either way, just the fact that you like green tea, that's supposed to be good for you. Yeah, that's from 1988, stupid.
What else does somebody with that head say to a hot chick?
Now, hold on. I like when she goes, you're walking out, I just started again. Like what, you were down for what, 17, 25 years? Now, Jim, we know you're not Mr. Confidence, but this photo shoot really brought out the self-loathing part of you. Watch this.
I'm a horrible subject, huh?
We get you smiling.
Yeah, I'm not a good smiler. I'm just notoriously photographed horribly. I have a weak chin and a fat head with a dent in the middle.
Big smile. You lean on the table so you look a little more relaxed. Perfect.
You know what? This is exactly how I should be photographed in a boring fashion, wearing black, holding a microphone, looking uninteresting and uneventful. This is probably the most.
Maybe turn on the music. Maybe the music will make you. You hold this. Big smile. Big retarded smile.
Exactly what they look like.
Spicy? Yeah, perfect.
This is the best photo you get of me.
Do something on the table. Nothing?
No, I can't think of anything to do.
So maybe like scream at me. I just want a little bit more emotion.
I really am dead. I don't like having my picture taken!
All right, Jimmy. Well, I thought you came off very, very self-effacing, you know? And you understood your job, which is to be my bitch and hold up my confidence. I like it. Was that your idea? To put it up there? What a kidder. So,
there's nothing worse than when someone's going to photograph you and they say do something, and it's like, I'm afraid if I do it, they're going to think, oh, look at the little ugly person trying to be handsome. You understand? It's almost like you don't want to be exposed like that, so you're just going to like, I suck and I know I suck, so hey, I'm telling you something I already know.
well, the good thing is, out of all the guys that we tricked into doing it, you came off the least obnoxious. Wait till you see these other creeps. Tomorrow night, Patrice O'Neill. We'll be right back. Well, folks, you know, this past weekend, the Episcopalians consecrated their first openly gay bishop and also celebrated their previous 500,000 non-openly gay ones. What are some other non-traditional fields that gays should now pursue, and why? James David?
I think gay people should take over the Department of Defense. We would have an all-gay army. We'd win every war. There is nothing more dangerous than a raging, vicious queen with an AK-47. But we wouldn't even be at war anyway. When gay people need to prove how macho they are, they don't have to invade an entire country. They just compare peni at the urinal. One guilty glance, it's over.
All right, Jim Norton, how about you?
I'd like to see homosexuals more openly involved in the NFL. Might be some problems initially, like the center purposely cutting a hole in the back of his uniform, and, you know, players taking 40 minutes to get up after they pile onto the quarterback, and the occasional instance of one player using another player's jockstrap as an oxygen mask. But the upside would be that the locker room would always be beautifully maintained, and that pine cones and broom handles in the ass would no longer be considered hazing, but a reward for winning the division.
All right. Yeah. That goes out to you, Belmore, right? Maria.
Okay, well, I think I was confused by the question. I don't don't know what else gays could do. I mean, I think it's where they could be doctors or lawyers or farmers or even comedians maybe. And wouldn't it be weird if gay people already had every kind of job and that we just didn't know because, you know, they're so good at artistic things like musical theater that they're just really good actors. We can't even tell if they're gay. Like, what if I were gay and you wouldn't even know? But you would know if I would, because I'm not a very good actor. I'm actually, I've been casting things just because I've known people.
Scott?
Well, first of all, being a gay bishop is about as non-traditional as being a gay backup dancer for Cher. The only difference is most gay bishops are in the closet, and while most of Cher's dancers are in there too, they're not hiding, they're changing into their next fabulous ensemble. The other difference is most gay bishops wear bigger hats. And if you want something truly non-traditional, try being a gay comedian who doesn't wear a dress. Well, except when the occasion is formal.
Okay, we're here, we're done. Get used to it. Good night.